The Miami Marlins have a new star, and his name is Jakob Marsee.
You are Locked On Marlins, your daily podcast on the Miami Marlins.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Marlins. I'm your host, Jeremiah Geiger. I'm a diehard Marlins fan, and I've podcasted about the team for the last 4 seasons. You can find me on X at Jeremiah Geiger 2, and thank you for making Locked On Marlins your first listen of the day. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is your team every day. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the YouTube channel and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And on today's show, I'm going to talk about the incredible performance we saw yesterday from Jakob Marsee. He quite literally is the best hitter in baseball since his debut. Graham Pauley stock is trending up. Xavier Edwards is making ground in the batting title race in the National League. But Jakob Marsee is the man of the hour. And his performance against the Cleveland Guardians should turn heads all over the baseball world, because the Marlins have found somebody, they've developed somebody now who I believe is a legitimate star and is going to be in this lineup for years to come, is a cornerstone player for the next Marlins playoff team. This is from Louis Adio Weiss over on X. And he said, Jakob Marsee isn't only off to one of the best starts by a Marlin ever, but since debuting, he's the best hitter in baseball. His 280 WRC plus is first among hitters since his debut on August 1st. That's above guys like Shohei Ohtani and Pete Alonso. Yesterday's game, Jakob Marsee went 4 for 5 with 2 homers, a double, and 7 RBIs. He tied the franchise record for RBIs in a single game. The Guardians had no answers for him. The Marlins win the game 13-4 in blowout fashion. They get that much-needed victory, and they won it in a way that I believe the momentum shifts to their side. The confidence in that clubhouse now is through the roof, and on Thursday, you have Edward Cabrera on the mound. You can finish off this series and get the win by taking 2 out of 3, and then head to Boston for a critical weekend series against a good American League opponent. But if Jakob Marsee keeps playing like this, then this team is still right in the mix. Right now, they're 5.5 out. Marcy, the impact that he's had on this lineup to start his career, it can't be understated. He has come into the Marlins organization, to the big league roster, and just hit everything. Professional at-bat after professional at-bat. He sees a lot of pitches. He's got elite plate discipline. He'll draw his walks, but when he gets a pitch he likes, he doesn't miss it. That's the makings of a star. You look under the hood at the advanced metrics. And, you know, when somebody is putting up good counting stats, sometimes you need to take an advanced look at these things and see, well, is he getting lucky? What's the exit velocity? Is he just blooping singles over the heads of the infielders, or is he actually crushing baseballs? And this isn't a fluke. This is going to be, you know, what he brings to the table. And for Marcy, it's legit. I'm so impressed with his approach at the plate. On the season, he's hitting .436 to start his career. And of course, that's going to normalize, that's going to go down. But, you know, by how much? He could still hit over 300 the rest of the way. OPS is at 1.414. I mean, he's crushing everything. Average exit velocity, 94.4 miles an hour. Hard hit percentage, 60%. His chase rate, elite, 10.6%. He doesn't chase. He doesn't whiff, 12.7 whiff percentage. His walk percentage is at 19%. That's the makings of a star. The Marlins have to be thrilled with what they have in Marcy, and he's the center fielder of the future, right there, in front of your eyes. You could not have gotten off to a better start than Jakob Marsee has to his career. Yeah, it's only been 39 at-bats, but if you watch the at-bats, if you watch how he attacks pitchers and his game plan against an opposing pitcher, you will see that this isn't just a flash in the pan. He has a conscious approach each and every time he gets in the batter's box, to work the count, not give away pitches. He's not going to swing and miss at a pitch outside the zone. It's not going to happen. If an umpire calls a strike and it's on the black, it's borderline, Marcy's probably right, the umpire's probably wrong. And then when he gets a pitch he feels like he can do something with, he crushes it. I mean, 2 homers yesterday and a double. Who's going to get this guy out? That's the center fielder of the future. That is somebody that if he continues, we got 42 games left in the season. If he continues playing at this torrid pace, then you seriously have to consider an extension in the offseason. Pre-arb extension, buy out the arbitration years. That's how much of a believer I am in Jakob Marsee. We all expected good things to happen when he got called up from AAA. I mean, I was excited for the debut, but never did I expect this type of impact so early in his career. The extra base hits, the elite plate discipline translating at an elite rate against major league pitching, not AAA, not AA. We're talking the best of the best. These are major leaguers. It's incredible. Is he a 5-tool player? Have the Marlins discovered a player that really gives them value all the way across the board and checks every single box? He steals bases. He can hit for power. He walks. He plays really good defense. I'm struggling to find a direct weakness in his game. An absolute stud. 7 RBIs, franchise record. And that was the spark that the Marlins needed. That game yesterday, that was an individual performance. They got the win as a team, but that individual performance is going to create such momentum for this team moving forward and for Jakob Marsee. I saw the post-game interview in which he was being talked about, or he was being asked, what was his favorite part of the game for him? And he said the win. He's a team-first player. The guy just set a franchise record, tied a franchise record with 7 RBIs. He had 4 hits, 2 homers. Could not get any better than that. And he said, the win. I'm happy with the win. That's someone you want on your team. That's someone you want in your lineup starting every single day. And for the love of everything, do not pinch hit Eric Wagaman for Jakob Marsee ever again. There was another player who had a really good game yesterday as well. Graham Pauley went 4 for 4. And I'm going to tell you why the Marlins don't need to go shopping for a third baseman in the offseason, because they already have him. That's coming up right after this. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. Then that's where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear visuals on your data, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Monarch Money is perfect for if you have those subscriptions that you forgot you're paying for. It's going to spot those subscriptions that are inactive, and they'll cancel those. And you'll save the money that's just getting thrown away. It's on top of everything when it comes to your finances. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. I appreciate all the everyday listeners making Locked On Marlins a part of your daily routine. Graham Pauley stock is trending up. You know, a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago, the Marlins had zero hope at third base and first base. That was the clear need for this team. And Graham Pauley has said, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to run with it. Connor Norby goes down with an injury. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. Pauley comes in and capitalizes. On the season now, his OPS is over 700. He was 4 for 4 in yesterday's baseball game. He hit a homer. Pauley is somebody that, when you look at him as a player, the total package that he brings to the table, it starts with the elite defense. And he's an elite defender at the hot corner, which, number one, you're going to have value for. Even if you don't hit at an above average level, if you play elite defense at the hot corner, then there's value there. And Major League, that's just a fact across Major League Baseball. The Cincinnati Reds traded for Ke'Bryan Hayes, who was having a dismal performance offensively, one of Major League Baseball's worst hitters, but they wanted to shore up the defense on that side of the infield. They wanted to have an absolute wall at third base. Pauley's been that wall, and now his bat is coming around. We got 42 games left the rest of the season. If Pauley can continue this type of offensive production and the trajectory continues trending upward, then the Marlins don't need to trade from their pitching depth for a third baseman. They don't need to focus on that specific position, because I think Pauley can be that guy. In 2026, I think Graham Pauley can be the third baseman every single day because he's earning it. Last 30 games for Pauley, hitting .257, an OBP of .358, 4 homers, 11 walks to 12 strikeouts. Last 15 games for Pauley, hitting .324, slugging .735. He's hot, and he's trending upward. And this is the rest of the season. You know, we're halfway through August. He's got the end of August, and then September. This is his chance. Connor Norby was supposed to be the third baseman. He was supposed to be the guy coming in, and you pencil him in as part of the Marlins core. And now you have to ask yourself, when Norby comes back, how could you conceivably take Pauley off of third and replace him with Norby, who's way worse defensively and was swinging a cold bat for the entire season? You can't do it. You remember that clip from Colin Cowherd when he was talking about LeBron James and Ben Simmons? And I just think this is funny. When he goes, LeBron, we're good. We're good over here. Ben Simmons is here now. And that's what I kind of think of when it comes to Pauley and Norby. Connor Norby, we're good. We're good at third base, man. We got Pauley now. but except Pauley's actually going to outperform Connor Norby. If I'm the manager of the Marlins, if I'm Clayton McCullough, there's no way I'm replacing Pauley. There's no way I'm taking him out of the lineup. And especially defensively at third, you're not taking him out. Does Norby still have a role on this team? He's got to earn it. He's got to earn it because name value, prospect, headliners, it doesn't matter. What matters is who's the best option, who's producing. What have you done for me lately? And I talk about opportunity on this show a lot. And for the Marlins, it rings true almost every time. When you have a player who is given an opportunity, he's going to do two things with it. He's either going to squander it and waste his one chance, or he's going to take the bull by the horns, and run with it and not let go. And that's what Pauley's doing. Connor Norby had his chance last season. He was impressive. He was way better than Kyle Stowers. He was the headliner of that trade. And coming into 2025, everybody assumed that Norby was going to be part of the core, going to be the third baseman, although if his defense could improve. Norby outwardly said, I want to hit 30 homers this season, and that's great. But when the rubber met the road, he wasn't good. And he gets hurt twice. He was hurt to start the season, got hurt a few weeks ago. Pauley waiting, got an opportunity in San Diego, just a cup of coffee over there. AAA, he came over to Miami, was in AA. Comes into the start of the season, has his first opportunity. He was okay. He wasn't very good. Defensively, sure. But offensively, he hadn't hit his stride. Then Norby comes back. He's getting limited playing time. The bat was just non-existent. Goes back to AAA. Resets. Gets another chance when Connor Norby got hurt. And what has he done? He's ran with it. I love everything about Graham Pauley's profile. Great glove. The bat's trending up. He's got power. 42 games to make an impact, to make a statement to the rest of the organization that, hey, I'm the guy. I'm the third baseman. Jakob Marsee came up. He made a statement from day one. Pauley, it's taken a little bit. He's making a statement right now. This core is coming together. It really is. You look at the individual players that the Marlins have and are starting to develop, and all these pieces are coming together. 58-62, you're 5.5 games out of the playoffs. Maybe you make a run and you can sneak in there this season. But when you look at it from a wider lens, how could you not be thrilled with what the Marlins are building right now? Kyle Stowers, all-star, playing like an MVP most of the year. Agustin Ramirez, destroyer of baseballs. Edward Cabrera on the pitching side. He pitches today. I have the utmost confidence in him each and every time he takes the ball. Yuri Perez, one of the game's best young pitchers, 22 years old. Otto Lopez, great defensively. He had a good game yesterday. He was struggling in the month of August, and he had a hit, scored a run. Then you take Marcy and Pauley, two players who you didn't expect this level of production. And if it proves to be legit, wow, you really have something building. You're really cooking now. And that's not even including Xavier Edwards, who quietly has climbed the leaderboards in the batting average statistic, is sitting at second behind Will Smith. And the rest of the way, he has a real chance at making a run at the batting title. That's coming up right after this. It's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends, it's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. I'm not much of a golfer, but I am meaning to go out to the course and just try a round of golf. Maybe I'll start with the driving range and try to dial in my swing first. But golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. And the grape ginger lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. And now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for the chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Locked on Marlins is on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this, hit that subscribe button. But it's also on all the major podcast platforms out there, so you can listen to the show wherever you happen to be. Xavier Edwards has quietly climbed back up in the leaderboards for batting average. He's sitting at a 305 average, right behind Will Smith, the catcher for the Dodgers, and he has a real chance to win the batting title. I love everything about Xavier Edwards' profile. He is the table setter for this Marlins lineup, and I think he's going to be the table setter for years. There's no reason why a player of his profile, you just pencil him in at the top of the order, and he's going to do his thing. You're just going to leave him there. Defensively, of course, there were questions surrounding him at shortstop. The Marlins made the switch. They moved Otto to short and X to second. It's worked out, and since then, he's really hit his groove. His OPS on the season is 746. He has 22 stolen bases. That's another aspect of his game that, just elevates it. You look at the batting average leaders, and you're going to see guys. Will Smith has 15 bombs. Freddie Freeman, 14. Ketel Marte, 23. Xavier Edwards isn't going to have those home run numbers. Although, ironically, he homered yesterday. It was his second homer. He crushed it to right field. I didn't know he had that type of power in him. But nonetheless, that's not what his game's built around. His game is about slapping the ball, getting on base, and then stealing bases. And I want to see him start stealing a little bit more. 22 stolen bases. He's been caught 7 times. You want to see a little bit more efficiency there. Of course, it's not terrible numbers, but I think X can be a guy in 2026 that steals 50, 60 bags. I see no reason why he isn't perennially hitting 300 every year. He started off kind of inconsistent. The average was well below 300, but consistency found itself. He found his groove. He got into a rhythm. And now he's sitting here in mid-August with a 305 average across 426 at-bats. He's played in 104 games. He's staying healthy, staying on the field for the most part. And I'm excited to see the result of this. Can he win the batting title? That was my bold prediction. It was hard to bet against Luis Arias, a player who had won 3 straight batting titles. But Arias is all the way down at 9th in the leaderboards. He's sitting at 289. X has a big head start as I'm recording this on August 14th. The rest of the way, this should be X's batting title to lose. One player to get. That's Will Smith. He's hitting 312. I think he can do it. Another addition to the Marlins core and a very unique profile that he has. Jakob Marsee, Graham Pauley, Kyle Stowers, Augustine Ramirez, none of those guys fit the same mold as X does. X is his own unique player, and I like that. I like that prototypical leadoff hitter. I mean, the Phillies had Kyle Schwarber hitting leadoff for a while. You have over in Arizona, you have Geraldo Perdomo hitting leadoff. You have unconventional leadoff hitters. When I think of a leadoff hitter, I think of Xavier Edwards. But in today's game, there's not a ton of X style players. Edwards just does his thing. He plays his own game, and it's a really good game to have because when you get on base and you're slapping singles, you have the capability to get 3-4 singles in a game, maybe a couple doubles. You know, you like to see that slug get elevated a little bit. Then you just leave it to the rest of the mashers in the lineup to drive you in. It's pretty simple. Going to the minor league side of things, talking about this core, Robbie Snelling just had another game in which he's racking up the strikeouts, 6 innings for AAA Jacksonville, 9 strikeouts. He's ready. He is clearly ready to come up to Miami and slot in the rotation. And I think that happens in September. I think that happens because the talent is just there. And when there's nothing left to prove, I'm looking at 2 guys in the rotation. With all due respect to Cal Quantrill and Jansen Junk, I think Snelling's upside is higher than them. Junk's been struggling, scuffling as of late. We know what Cal Quantrill brings to the table. At the max, he's going to go 5. I'd like to see Snelling get called up over his next start. Now, will that happen? I would probably bet against it because I think the Marlins are just taking things slow and their rotation is set right now, even with Quantrill and Junk. Junk's been solid over the majority of the year. You know, it's been a bad five starts or so in which he's giving up chunks of runs. But Snelling's knocking on the door. And that's another addition to this franchise, to this core that Peter Bendix is building. The Marlins are building a monster. Lone Depot Park in a couple of years is going to be rocking year in and year out. It better be, because that's where this team is going to be. They're going to be a team in which the fans come out and they're going to be cheering on winners. This team is already winning games. Yeah, they've been struggling, but I think yesterday's game against the Guardians, who win 13-4, that's a game in which everybody gets on track and it brings your momentum back to you. Xavier Edwards, can he win the batting title? I really hope he can. I want to see Snelling. I want to see Snelling in the majors soon. If it was up to me, this might be out there, but I'm calling up Snelling right now. I'm calling up Snelling and replacing either Quantrill or Junk. And I would just say, you know what? Talent, production, that matters. That has to factor into this. And I think Snelling's upside is going to carry us to victory. It brings energy into the clubhouse. What happened when the Marlins called up Augustine Ramirez, Jakob Marsee? Immediate impact. Xavier Edwards is heating up. Kyle Stowers has had a slow month of August, but if he continues heating up, Snelling's right there. He's as hot as he can be. He's in his rhythm as a pitcher. He's striking out everybody. Could be time to make the move and call him up. Edward Cabrera gets the start today. All the confidence in him. I think the Marlins win this game. They win the series, and they head to Boston with a chip on their shoulder, trying to get the bad taste out of their mouths from that Atlanta series, put it behind them, and just keep winning games. That's all you can do. Let the chips fall where they may. But right now, 42 games left. Everything is still in front of you right now. You have all these exciting players I talked about. If they all keep playing well together as a group, this team could shock the world. That's going to do it for today's edition of Locked On Marlins. I appreciate you guys for listening. And until next time, stay safe, stay locked on, and let's go fish.